University of Lynchburg's 2026 Undergraduate Commencement. My name is Nathan Albert. I serve as the University Chaplain and Assistant Vice President for Belonging. And I'd like to invite you to join me before you sit in a moment of prayer or reflection as we extend our gratitude and center ourselves for this momentous occasion. Divine Source, the one who is near to us as our very breath, we pause with deep gratitude and excitement for this day. We give thanks for this sacred moment in time, the moment to honor a long tradition of excellence. Today we celebrate these students as they stand at the threshold of a new horizon, ready to begin the next great chapter of their lives. We give thanks for their years as Hornets, the way they have infused energy into this hive, the way they transformed this campus into a home, and the deep passion they breathed into every facet of this university. We give thanks for faculty, staff, administrators, coaches, family members, friends, and ancestors who have walked beside, behind, and with these students, providing them light and strength for this journey. And we give thanks and we honor the Monacan Indian Nation, the original stewards of the land on which the university now sits, and we give thanks for the Monacan people across all generations. And as this ceremony unfolds, whether there is rain or not, may their time and as their time on this campus draws to an end, we ask for a divine spirit to be on this graduating class of students. May they awaken to the deep truth of their sacred worth and be empowered to work for the healing and liberation of all beings. May it be so. Amen and amen. You may be seated.
Good morning. My name is Julie Doyle, and I am honored to serve as the chair of the University of Lynchburg Board of Trustees. On behalf of my fellow trustees, I want to welcome faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the University of Lynchburg graduating class of 2026. Congratulations to all of you for this significant milestone in your lives. The Board of Trustees is made up of 22 volunteers, several of whom are here with us today, all who dedicate their time to provide guidance and oversight to the university. We do this for many reasons, most importantly because of a deep respect for higher education in general and a love specifically for the University of Lynchburg. A majority of the trustees are alumni of this university, a coalition which you all joined today as you officially receive your diplomas. All of the trustees, whether alums or not, have a great respect for this institution, its importance to the Lynchburg community, and a strong desire to honor its history and help ensure its continued success. I have the pleasure of knowing many of the graduates who are receiving their degree today. One I have literally known since the day he was born. Shout out to Luke Meadows, who's out there somewhere. Another I've gotten to know well just over the past year, your SGA president, Soliana at NAFU, who you'll be hearing from a little bit later this morning. It has been a joy watching Luke evolve from the toddler who would come to our house and focus like a laser on the contents of our snack drawer, to the impressive young man he is today, with a focus on his future as a physician assistant, hopefully with some NCAA lacrosse tournament wins to round out his impressive athletic career here at Lynchburg. Over the past year, I've been able to watch Soliana as she has led and advocated for her fellow students as SGA president. In recent months, I had the honor of working alongside her on the Presidential Search Committee as she thoughtfully represented the student voice during the selection process, which led to the hiring of the next president of the university, Dr. Sally Selden. We are fortunate that Soliana chose to come all the way from Ethiopia to get her education here at Lynchburg, and we are grateful for the gifts of her time and talent that she continues to share with this community. The mission of the university to inspire independent thinkers to become trustworthy, effective leaders who shape caring communities is a guiding light for the work the trustees do on behalf of the students, including Luke, Soliana, and all the members of the class of 2026. Before we go on with the program, there's an order of business to complete, which I consider a great honor, and I would ask President Allison to join me up here at the podium. This academic year marks a season of transition and renewal as the university prepares for the next chapter of presidential leadership. Just like the class of 2026, President Allison Morrison Shetler will be leaving behind her years on the campus, graduating from her role as president and looking ahead to new horizons. As President Allison is here with us today, in keeping with tradition, she is wearing the academic regalia, which is a visible, tangible expression of everything she, as a scholar, has worked for: the years of study, the degrees earned, the knowledge pursued, and the wisdom gained. When a university dons their regalia, they are carrying the living symbol of their institution's identity, values, and aspirations. They wear it on behalf of every student, faculty, and staff member. President Allison has worn this regalia and her presidential medallion through a pandemic, through transformation, through challenges and triumphs. She has worn it with dignity and purpose, and always with an unwavering commitment to this university and the students at its heart. And so today, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the entire University of Lynchburg community, I am honored to present President Allison Morrison Shetler with her regalia and her presidential medallion to keep with her as she ventures on to the next chapter. These items no longer simply represent the office she has held here at Lynchburg, they represent her leadership, and her legacy. President Allison, it is only right that you leave here with something that will forever connect you to the institution you have loved and served, and to the thousands of lives you helped change along the way. Graduates, for today, please take time for well-deserved celebration and reflection on your time here at this wonderful school, a place where you can always find a home. Never hesitate to allow your mind and your heart to return to this place, to this day, and to all those people over the past several years who helped you on your journey. We are so proud of all you have and will accomplish. Congratulations to the class of 2026.
Good morning, everyone, and let the rain come down. I just sat out with you all, so here we are, frizzy hair, enjoying our morning together. My name is Catherine Whitestone Goodman, and I graduated from Lynchburg in 2013. Should have been 2012, but I had a little bit of fun here. Stuck around for an extra year. And the University of Lynchburg really helped me become the person that I am today. And I'm so excited to welcome all of you to the Alumni Association as the current president of our Lynchburg Alumni Board of Directors. So congratulations to you, class of 2026. This is your time. This is an extraordinary milestone for all of you. Take a moment, look around at each other, see who's sitting near you. Whether it's pouring rain or sunshine, all of these folks around you are your fellow Hornets. These are your peers, your professors, and your future collaborators. The bonds that you formed here, whether it be through late night evenings in shul or the student center, different challenges you face, successful sports wins, all of these moments bring you together to be bonded within the University of Lynchburg for a lifetime. I came to then Lynchburg College in 2008 with a clear vision in mind. I was going to become a nurse. I moved here all the way from Minnesota, knowing that this was the best college in the country that could get me through to be a successful nurse, as it's a small private institution that really cares for its people and its students. It was my first time ever living away from my family, let alone moving across the country, so as you can imagine, it was quite an adjustment, but it was a really great experience. And alongside my nursing path, I studied vocal music performance. I actually got to sing at a few graduation ceremonies. I joined a sorority, and I worked at the post office, and this was all before Amazon existed, so this is when we used to get care packages from our family members, and it was very exciting to get a package in the mail. It was a really great time, and I was also an enrollment student ambassador. And at that time, I learned the skills of giving tours, which have now carried on to my workplace, where I'm the de facto tour guide anytime a new employee starts. But all that said, this university helped me grow in so many ways. My time here was incredible, and partway through my nursing program, I actually ran into a few academic challenges. And I was so lucky to have an advisor who really knew who I was as an individual. And she helped me find the right support that I needed and to navigate a huge life decision in which I changed my major. At the time, it felt like the biggest challenge in my life I'd ever faced, and in hindsight, it wasn't, because it actually led me into the place that I am now. And my trusted advisor and many classmates helped me get through that time. I now have a master's in public health, and I'm the director of population health and communications within the Virginia Department of Health. I've come a long way despite those academic challenges, and I know it wouldn't have been if it weren't for this university, I wouldn't be where I am. I navigated leadership roles in the global pandemic and continuing to face emerging health concerns. This is all why I'm so proud to be standing in front of you as president of our Alumni Association. And that's right, I said our Alumni Association. You all are a part of this force now. And while we might be a small alumni base, we are mighty, and we have crucial roles in society. And I'm always thrilled when I run into a fellow Hornet in the wild, because there's a special bond that we carry coming from this intimate university that just large universities just don't understand. As you move on from Lynchburg today, remember, this is not the end, but actually the beginning of a lifelong connection that you will carry on with this university. The same spirit that carried you throughout the last 4 or 5 years will carry you through life. Think curiosity, resilience, and community. Now, as you enter the next chapter, some of you know exactly what's next, some of you don't, and that's okay. Wherever you go, this network, this family of alumni will be here for you. We're here to support, mentor, guide, and celebrate you. So please reach out and stay connected. Show up for homecoming in October. You never know when a fellow Hornet might open a door for you, or when you're gonna be the one who opens the door for someone else. Congratulations to all of you, the class of 2026. Welcome to the Lynchburg Alumni Association. And as always, it's a great day to be a Hornet.
Hi. Before I begin, I want to start with a phrase that has carried me and my family to this moment, Xavier Mesken. Good morning, President Allison, members of Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, families, friends, and most importantly, class of 2026. My name is Soliana Atnafu, and if you had told me 4 years ago I'll be here standing today, I wouldn't believe you. Looking at all of you right now is surreal, especially when I think back to the first semester I came to Lynchburg from Ethiopia. Not knowing a single soul, with English being my second language, I was terrified. Every single day I struggled with homesickness, wishing I could go back home to my comfort zone, to my families, my parents, my twin sister, my younger siblings, and my best friends. But I didn't leave. Choosing to stay when everything felt unfamiliar was one of the most challenging decisions I've ever made. There was so many nights where I sat in my room feeling like a stranger in a place that didn't know my name. But staying taught me that I could handle much more than I ever possible. I realized that while I was 1,000 miles away from home, Ethiopia, I was slowly building a new home here in Lynchburg. I found the strength to keep me going, looking back at the examples my parents set up. To my mom and dad, you are my biggest supporters. Any strength you see in me right now, I got it from you. You showed me how to handle every challenge without complaining, and I knew that if I quit, I'd be letting down the person you raised. Being away from home, from your best friends, it's hard. I didn't think I would find that again. Finding true friends in college can feel impossible. But I was lucky enough to find people who made me believe in friendship all over again. It started with my roommates Carly and Aaron, and a group of friends who became my home. Timmy, Lexi, Mo, and shout out Kev. And I also found mentors like Kristen Cooper, who showed me what a strong woman looks like, and Emily, the queen of fun, who kept me going. Thank you, Ali, for showing me what I could accomplish, and to my supervisor, Sarah, who became so much more. Thank you for hearing every friendship problems, life problems, and always knowing what to say. I also want to thank my professors for pushing me to find my voice, especially Dr. Ribler, who helped me through the schoolwork and never gave up on me. Dr. Pallord, thank you for being a person who recommends books, and honestly, for the person who hates writing essays, you made me a better writer. I also want to thank my family, especially my cousins, Basie, Anish, Alexo, Tom. Thank you for giving me a home so that I can have someone here. Thank you to my uncles, Dave and Egish, for always knowing whenever I needed you. Ludi and Tobel for being the best supporters I needed. This support gave me the confidence to serve as your Student Government Association president, the opportunity to serve on the search committee. Working on that committee led me closely with the Board of Trustees, and I truly know how much they cared about the students. I met the most amazing peoples, and I learned so much from each of them. I came here as a girl who was afraid to speak, and I leave here having the privilege to help change the future of the school and speak for all of you. But most importantly, I'm taking away from Lynchburg is deeper understanding of what a human means. We live in a society that tells us to hide our comfortable parts of ourselves. But my journey here taught me those emotions are actually our biggest teachers. Anger showed me where my boundaries are. Jealousy showed me what I truly wanted. Shame reveals the parts of me that still needs accomplishment and healing. And fear I felt as a freshman, it showed me that my greatest power was yet to be unleashed. Regrets invites you to forgive yourself. Disappointment shows where you have unspoken expectations. And anxiety reveals an opportunity to build confidence and self-trust. We spent 4 years discovering who we are without anyone looking over our shoulders. So, as we leave, I ask you, give yourself permission to feel all. Let those emotions guide you to your greatest life and your greatest blessings. We didn't just graduate today. We found who we are meant to be. Congratulations, class of 2026. We did it! Woo!
Good morning, trustees, faculty, staff, families and friends, and most especially the incredible graduating class of 2026. One more rousing round of applause for these group of students. So welcome to the slightly wet 123rd annual commencement for the University of Lynchburg. In Scotland, we would call this liquid sunshine, so just go with me on that, please. Today, we celebrate 893 of the most extraordinary people I have ever had the privilege of knowing. 345 of you are here today and are receiving undergraduate degrees in Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science diplomas, earned through years of hard work and late nights, and more than a few moments wondering whether you were going to make it. Well, you made it. You are here, and we could not be more proud. Our graduates this year come from 20 states and 15 countries. You are scientists, storytellers, nurses, business leaders, educators, and exercise physiologists. You are, without question, awesome, and it has been the honor of my life to be your president. Today is my last undergraduate commencement as your president, and after 6 years at the helm of this incredible institution, I'm stepping into a chapter of my own, right alongside you. We are both walking off a stage we know well and stepping into a future that is entirely yet to be written. We are both closing one chapter and opening another, and neither of us knows exactly what's on the next page. So today, I don't want to simply send you off with applause and a handshake, though there will be plenty of both. I want to share with you 3 things I've learned, not just as your president, but as a human being who spent a lifetime navigating a world that rarely goes according to plan. The first lesson: you can transform anything if you have the courage to face change. I want you to think about what you've lived through just in the years you've been here. The aftermath of a pandemic, economic and global uncertainty, a world that seems to be moving faster than any of us can keep up with. Yet, throughout it all, change is not the enemy. Nowhere is that more true than here, at the undeniably life-changing University of Lynchburg. The people who transform the world are not the ones who wait for certainty before they act. They are the ones who looked at the uncertain moment and said, I'm going to figure this out. They are the ones who lean into discomfort rather than away from it. You have been learning to do that exact thing here, in your classrooms, in our labs, in our clinics, in our studios. You were never just memorizing facts. You were learning how to think, to ask better questions, and sit with a problem until it gives way. You've been learning to collaborate with people who see things very, very differently than you do. That, dear graduates, is what makes your degree from the University of Lynchburg something more than a credential. It is a toolkit. It has equipped you for a world that will ask you to change directions, sometimes without much warning. And you know what? You are ready. So don't be afraid to take risks. Not all of them will work out, and that's perfectly, completely okay. What matters is that you try. What matters is that you stay in motion. The second lesson: get enough data to make a sound decision, but don't wait too long. We live in an age of infinite information, and paradoxically, that can be paralyzing. There will be moments in your career, in your relationships, in your lives, when you are waiting for just one more data point before you commit. One more opinion, one more sign. I understand that impulse completely. I felt it myself. But here's what I've learned. Perfect information is a myth. At some point, you have to make the best decision you can with the data that you have, and then make it work. Decisiveness is a form of courage. Adaptability is a form of strength. Leaders who change the world are not the ones who never made a wrong call. They are the ones who made the call, learned from it, and kept moving forward. You've spent years here developing your judgment, so trust it. The world needs people who can think independently and act with integrity, even when the path isn't perfectly clear. That is exactly who you have become. The third lesson: carry your values like armor. The University of Lynchburg has given you a foundation built on academic rigor, belonging, connection, curiosity, excellence, and service. These are not abstract ideals. These are the principles that will anchor you when everything else feels uncertain. But I want to add two more to that list, because I believe you'll need them. The first one is grit. The ability to stay the course when things get hard, and they will get hard. Grit is not glamorous. It doesn't trend on social media, but it is a quiet, stubborn force that separates the people who reach their potential from the ones who stop just short of it. And resilience, the ability to absorb a setback and come back stronger, to be knocked down by failure, criticism, and circumstances entirely outside your control, and to get back up, not because it's easy, but because your purpose demands it. So here's what I want you to understand about the world you are walking into. It needs you. It needs your authenticity in a world that is becoming increasingly synthetic. It needs your human judgment in a world that is increasingly automated. It needs your courage in a world that sometimes feels short on it. You are not walking out of here unprepared. You are walking out of here as the adults in the room, equipped with the tools, the values, and the wisdom to lead. You found your people here. You found your place. And my deepest hope is that Lynchburg helped you find your passion and your purpose. Because those things, when you carry them forward, will absolutely make you unstoppable. So I want to ask you one final question, the same question I asked last year's graduating class, because it matters just as much today. If your experience here at Lynchburg has been an undeniably life-changing one, then how will you go out and create life-changing experience for those that you meet? Will you be the independent thinker who pauses to listen before rushing to judgment? Will you be the trustworthy leader who does what they say when they do, even when no one's watching? Will you shape caring communities in your workplaces, your neighborhoods, your families, your place of worship? I trust that you will. I know that you will, because I have watched you become exactly that kind of person, and it has been the greatest privilege of my professional career. To the families and friends in the audience, I want to thank you. You cheered, you sacrificed, you believed, sometimes even when your graduate didn't believe in themselves. You are part of this degree too, and we honor you today. To our faculty and staff, you are the heartbeat of this institution. Thank you for pouring yourselves into these students every single day. What you do is extraordinary. And to the class of 2026, this campus is your home for life. Come back, tell your stories, bring your successes, and yes, bring your failures too, because we want to hear all of it. And never forget that you are extraordinary. Now go be curious, go be courageous, be gritty and gracious. Go be the leaders this world so desperately needs. Go be awesome. Congratulations, class of 2026. It is always, as always, a great day to be a Hornet. Perfect, Allison. It is now my absolute pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker. And I have to say this one is personal. Dr. John Garrison Marks is a Lynchburg alum, class of 2010. And from the moment I learned about his work, I thought, this is exactly what a Lynchburg education looks like in action. He's a double major in history and Spanish with a minor in museum studies, a Westover Honors Fellow, and a cum laude graduate of this very institution. He has said that it was right here at Lynchburg where he learned to think like a historian, to ask hard questions, search for the answers, search for those in the archives, and write with evidence and integrity. I just love that, because that is precisely what we hope every student who graduates today will carry with them. From here, Dr. Marks went on to earn his master's and PhD in history from Rice University, and he has spent his career doing something truly extraordinary. He is helping our nation reckon honestly and thoughtfully with its own history. For nearly a decade, he served the American Association for State and Local History, leading efforts to help museums and historic sites across the country tell fuller, more honest, more inclusive stories as we approach America's 250th anniversary. He even spent a year as a fellow at the John W. Klug Center of the Library of Congress, one of the most prestigious research appointments in the country. His newest book, Thy Will Be Done, George Washington's Legacy of Slavery and the Fight for American Memory, published this year by the University of North Carolina Press, is already generating incredible national conversation, and it wouldn't be more timely. His work has appeared in the Washington Post, Time Magazine, and Smithsonian Magazine, and is widely recognized as one of the leading voices in public history today. He learned to ask the questions that matter right here in the University of Lynchburg, and today he comes home. Please join me in welcoming Dr. John Garrison Marks.
Well, thank you very much for that kind introduction. And first and foremost, congratulations to all of you, the class of 2026. I will tell you, I got married 11 years ago next month, and it absolutely poured rain on my wedding day. So I take this as a sign of good luck, and I hope that you will too. But I know a lot of you are a little bit wet and a little bit cold out there, so I will tell you from the very outset here that this speech will be about 16 minutes long. So you can settle in and know that that is when the end is coming. First, I want to open with a couple of thank yous. Thank you to President Allison for that kind introduction, to Dr. Chip Walton, to Kayla Humphreys, the Board of Trustees, all of the faculty and staff who invited me to come speak with you all today and helped me in various ways to make it happen. I also need to thank my parents, my wife Caroline, and my two sons, Nathan and Adam. Hi, guys. They are all here to see me speak to you all today. I have other family that's watching on the live stream. I think I might have more family here than many of you do, in case you were wondering whether this is a big deal or not. But it is truly a pleasure and an honor to be back here at Lynchburg. This school is an extremely important place to me. As President Allison mentioned, I'm a historian and a writer, and it was here at Lynchburg where I really learned to read, to write, and to research, to begin to understand the world, and to develop the habits of mind and the interests that went on to become my life's work. So this place will always be incredibly important to me. But as a historian, I think I am obligated to begin here with a story from the past. So I want to start by talking about Abraham Lincoln and the Civil War. Please just bear with me. I promise this is going somewhere. In the summer of 1862, Abraham Lincoln had been through a tough few years, among the toughest that any president, really any person, had ever endured. Lincoln had run for president 2 years earlier in 1860 as the standard-bearer for the new Republican Party. He opposed the institution of slavery and committed to stopping its spread to the American West. He won election that year without carrying a single Southern state. After his election, Southern states began leaving the U.S. one by one to establish a new nation dedicated to the perpetuation of slavery. Before he even took office, Lincoln essentially became the president who lost half the country. After nearly a century of struggle to maintain the fragile ties keeping the nation together and keeping its radical experiment in democracy going, Lincoln had to bear the burden of trying to manage the ways that this had all fallen apart under his watch. He had to try to bring these southern states back into the U.S. without compromising on his opposition to slavery. In the spring of 1861, the nation plunged into civil war. Many Americans in both the North and the South thought this war would be over and done with fairly quickly, and instead it settled into a long and deadly slog. By 1862, white Northerners were already asking Lincoln to find a way to stop the killing and the dying and end the war, even if it meant compromising on his pledge to end slavery. The pressure that Lincoln was under to solve the biggest crisis the nation had ever seen, and to do it quickly, steadily built. As if a civil war wasn't enough, Lincoln also faced personal tragedy that year. In February of 1862, as the war raged, Abraham Lincoln's 11-year-old son, Willie, died of typhoid. He was the second of Lincoln's 4 children to die, and his death sent both Lincoln and his wife into a tailspin of grief. Lincoln was often prone to bouts of what they called melancholy and what we would now call depression. Lincoln had to support his wife and manage his own grief during this unthinkable tragedy, all while leading a nation that had been plunged into war, with Americans dying by the thousands each month. To put it simply, it was a lot to deal with. I don't know about you, but I have buckled under the weight of far, far less. If Lincoln had been overwhelmed by the pressure of these compounding tragedies, I don't know where we would be today. But I do know that slavery, the most horrific institution this nation has ever experienced, would not have ended how or when it did. But Lincoln didn't crash out. He held firm, and in the summer of 1862 and the beginning of 1863, he wrote and issued the Emancipation Proclamation, one of the single most important documents in American history. Amid multiple tragedies, Lincoln found the mental focus and the moral clarity to free the people enslaved in the rebelling southern states, a decisive moment in winning the Civil War and ending slavery in America. For us here today, though, it's the way that Lincoln managed these unbelievable demands on his time, his intellect, and his conscience, how he managed to find a way to block out the chaos and the distraction that holds the most important lesson. We might expect that Lincoln spent hour after hour, day after day in the White House, rejecting sleep and working endlessly to try to find a solution. But that's not what he did. Instead, Lincoln spent the summer of 1862 at the Soldiers' Home, a country residence that at the time was a few miles outside the noise and grime of Washington, D.C. Today, it is called President Lincoln's Cottage. And at the cottage, Lincoln had the space, the time, and the solitude that he needed to think deeply, to process, and to write. Sometimes at the Soldiers' Home, he just did nothing. His associates would find him in a room of the cottage with his long legs draped over the side of a chair, just staring into space. Lincoln delivered one of the most transformative moments in American history by finding the time and the space to focus. Few of us will ever be challenged the way that Lincoln was, but his story helps highlight something that has become increasingly clear in recent years. Achieving anything, living up to our potential, even just maintaining our humanity, demands that we pull ourselves away from endless sources of distraction. I shudder to think where we would be right now if Abraham Lincoln had owned a smartphone. Today, when it comes to our ability to think and focus, we find ourselves at a moment of genuine crisis. Day after day, we voluntarily hand over our brains and our attention to the world's largest corporations, steadily diminishing our intellectual capacity while we enrich the world's wealthiest and most anti-democratic men. In the process, we are destroying some of the very things that make us human. The smartphone era of the past 2 decades has been nothing short of disastrous for our minds. Our intellectual abilities have been steadily getting worse. Researchers have found, for example, that people who consume short-form video are just worse at both thinking and paying attention than those who don't. Americans' attention spans today are about 1/3 of what they were just 20 years ago. 1/3. Meanwhile, the number of Americans who report difficulty concentrating has steadily increased. Just having our phone in the room with us, not even looking at it, just having it in the room has been shown to negatively affect our ability to concentrate. Artificial intelligence doesn't fare much better. In fact, as it gets shoehorned into nearly every aspect of our lives, a solution in search of a problem, it's only making things worse. Research is finding that using AI leads to mental exhaustion and severely diminishes users' critical thinking skills. When we outsource our thinking and our writing to AI, we eventually end up losing the ability to do those things at all. And in exchange, most workers report that AI isn't actually saving them any time. What a bargain. These devices and platforms are intentionally designed to be addictive, to capture as much of your time and attention as possible so that corporations can turn around and sell it. I've seen in my own life how harmful the effects of the digital attention economy can be. I was a senior here at Lynchburg when I got my first iPhone. Yes, for the first 3 years I was in school, I had a flip phone, and it opened vertically for phone calls, but horizontally for a full keyboard for texting. It was very cool, I promise. But with this new iPhone, I immediately began to drift away from the people closest to me. My roommate and my best friend, a guy who I had lived with for 4 years, complained that he saw more of the top of my head as I stared down at my magical glowing box than he had seen in the previous 3 years combined. These devices have made parenting harder for me, as the constant distraction and stimulation of social media makes me more irritable, and as my kids easily point out the hypocrisy of limiting their screen time while I'm on a never-ending screen binge of my own. It makes work harder, leading me to wonder how much more I could get done, how much better my work could be if I was operating at full capacity instead of checking my email every 5 minutes. And yet, here I am, here we all are, endlessly checking our phones, feeling its phantom buzz in our pockets on the rare occasions that we're not actively looking at it. To put it simply, not just for the graduating class, but for everyone here today listening, through our addiction to smartphones and social media, we are voluntarily reducing our cognitive abilities, our attention spans, our critical thinking, and our capacity for human connection. These are the things that make us human, and we're actively destroying them with little benefit in return. We cannot go on like this. Silencing notifications and setting screen time limits are not going to be enough. As individuals and as a society, we need to completely transform our approach to technology. We need to get off social media. We need to separate ourselves from our phones. When we use digital tools, we need to make sure they are actually serving the goals that we have for our lives and our careers, rather than serving as our constant companion, something that saves us from every moment of boredom or the difficulty of deep concentration. Being bored is good for you. Ask my kids how often they hear me say that. So stare into space at the doctor's office. Read a book while you stand in line. Go to the bathroom the old-fashioned way, with a magazine. You should allow yourself the privilege of being bored. You should welcome it, even demand it. That is when your mind can do its best work. Yet welcoming boredom back into our lives is just the first step in rebuilding our capacity for focus, for depth, and for human connection. More than anything else, reclaiming what we have lost in the smartphone era means that we need to read. On a very practical level, as college graduates, most of you will end up working in some sort of knowledge sector job, where your ability to do good work will be directly tied to your ability to make sense of information. People who read will always be better at that kind of work than people who don't. I know that it might feel like college is now finally over and you can finally stop reading so much, but nothing could be further from the truth. Reading is the best thing you could possibly do for your career and for yourself. Reading widely will help you make sense of a complex and challenging world. Reading will help you expand your sense of the moral universe and cultivate your ability to imagine different futures. Reading can spark ideas, can take you places, can transport and transform you in ways that nothing else can. Through reading, you are in control of both the content you encounter and the pace at which you encounter it, not some corporate algorithm. Bit by bit, reading rewires and strengthens our brains. It keeps us mentally fit. This training for our minds is just as important as the physical exercise is for our bodily health. We cannot put this off any longer. As graduates of the class of 2026, you are embarking on the rest of your life at a very unique moment in the history of our nation. In just a couple months, we will mark 250 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. 250 years since the people of this nation dedicated themselves to the principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, to the proposition that all of us are created equal. Yet as we approach the 250th, we're seeing very clearly that history does not always move in a straight line. Democratic norms are crumbling, and hard-won rights are being rolled back, not just here, but around the world. We've seen very clearly how much money and power is dedicated to subverting the principles of the Declaration of Independence, much of it flowing directly from the technology companies that control so much of our lives. We are seeing clearly that the arc of the moral universe only bends toward justice if we are there to pull on it. If we don't, it can just as easily be pushed back. So as we take stock in this moment of where the nation is at its 250th and where we might like our society to be at the tricentennial 50 years from now, knock on wood, we have to recognize that it will only get there if we actively shape it. Taking stock of our own lives demands the same. What do you want out of life? How are you going to make it happen? You will not find the answers to those questions at the end of your social feed, but you might find them in a book. In a society that is perpetually distracted, let reading be your superpower for creating a better world and a happier life. As you leave here today, heading to graduate school, to careers, to something that you're going to figure out very soon if people would just stop asking you about it, I ask you not to cede your attention, your intellect, and your life to the corporations devoting countless sums of money trying to take it from you. The world is full of challenges, and more generally, adult life can just be really, really hard. Figuring out who you are and what kind of life you want demands that you be an active participant in that process. reading can help you along, and thinking deeply can help you make sense of it, but only if you allow yourself the time. I will close with this. In the late 1820s, an enslaved boy named Frederick Douglass moved to Baltimore, Maryland. He was about 12 when, in secret, the wife of his enslaver taught him to read. Douglass describes this moment as being earth-shattering. He suddenly knew the power that words could provide. All at once, being able to read liberated his mind, while also making clearer than ever the deep injustices of his enslavement, allowing him to see just how much he was being deprived of. Soon after, when his enslavers forbid him from continuing to learn, Douglass traded with kids in the street and men on the docks to get access to whatever reading material that he could. He wanted nothing more than to read. Reading led Douglass to emancipate himself, escaping from slavery, and becoming one of the most powerful voices to ever speak out against injustice that this nation has ever known. Douglass later said that knowledge is the pathway from slavery to freedom. No one in American history better understood the value of words, the sacrifices needed to pursue them, or the way to wield them to advance justice. And reading can be just as valuable to all of us still today. So as you think about your own life and your own voice and how you'll use it in the years ahead, wherever they might take you, I'll give you the advice that my dad once gave to me, which has proven to be the single most important piece of advice that I've ever received. And that is this: just read, read, read. Read everything that you can get your hands on. Reclaim your time and attention, nurture it, use it, and put it to work in the world. Go forth from here and see where reading can take you and discover all that you can achieve with your mind. I promise you, you will never regret it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Marks. The undergraduate degrees for 2026 graduating class of the School of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Professional and Applied Sciences, and School of Medical and Health Sciences, which have been voted by the Board of Trustees, will now be conferred.
Will all candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science please rise? President Morrison Shetler, I have the honor to present 161 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, 184 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. The January and May candidates have successfully completed the course of study assigned, have been certified by the faculty of the university, and approved by the Board of Trustees. And I ask that you, by your official act, confer upon them these degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and on the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Lynchburg, I confer upon the January and May candidates the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science with all honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. So graduates, please change the side of your tassel from one side to the other.
I also present 20 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, 17 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science who expect to qualify for their degrees by the end of the summer session. Subject to the completion of their requirements, diplomas will be issued in August. They will come forward to be recognized along with the degree recipients. Will all candidates please be seated? Your program provides an explanation of Westover Fellows and academic honors. I will now ask each group to stand and be recognized. First, honors in the major. Honors. High honors. Highest honors. Cum laude. Magna cum laude. And summa cum laude. Will all recipients of academic honors please stand? One more round of applause for these folks. Will all candidates be seated except for the first row of candidates who are asked to come forward to the platform?
Franco Coxia. Sebastian David Soria. Daniel Luke Hardy. Ben Rollins. Jesse Lubati. Casey Kelly. Daria Hunter. Emily Smith. Caroline Samantha Edmondson. Jada Denise Morgan. Aliyah Elizabeth Woodson. Wataya Lamaya Wheat. Haley Zahn. Melanie DiFilippo. Evan Robert Price. Jacob Clavivo. Layla Gulamova. Abigail Grace Johnson. Isa Sophia Worthon. Jessica Fassett. Kimberly Terrace. Alexandra Miller. Ashlyn Faith Sears. Allison Jewell. Maria Antonia Roberts. Braylon Nicole Blackstone. Elizabeth Leona Johnson. Bryce Demery. Brock Duff. Tevin Braxton. James Tucker Motley. John Carrico. Tiana Artis. Grant Walker Howard. John Walter Bain. Victoria Williamson. Virginia Zielinski. Emily Michelle Lindy. Cassie Nicole Blackmore. Noah Price. Sarah Elizabeth Watts. Alyssa Malie Taliwampata. Alexis Blake Love. Abigail Lockhart. Georgia Monroe Thompson. Pearson Young. Jason Easton. Lauren Fling. Cole Murphy. Kyle Gillenwater III. Stephen Barber. Presley Camden. Lincoln Nicole Brads. Jack Elliott Pitts. Jackson Britton. Mickey Gregory. William Wallace. James Bauer Smallshaw. Theodore Barrett. Quentin Douglas Smith. Garrett Appleton. Tamahito Mori. Jacob Fisher. Reese McAtee. Delaney Porter. Emily Peyton Nugent.
It's Kiri.
Carrie Michelle Thibodeau. McKenna Moss. Jenna Lynn Roach. Carmen Nicholas Almila. Neely Morris. Megan Wheeler. Taylor Doherty. Virginia Heffernan. Sydney Dumas. McKenna Steino. Aiden Olmstead. Austin Newsom. Ashton Watterson. Reagan Leach. Mackenzie Jolly. Carolyn Grace Murata. Joel Butcher Quinn. Kayla Sledge. Morgan Clark. Jahia Reed. Brooke Kaysen. Ashley Vandergrift. Sage Adams. Allison Booth. Kayla Marie Terry. Josephine McCarthy. Tyler Duffy. Justin Tellerico. Kelly Noah Britt. Francis Stoltz. Peyton Knight Garrard. Anna Josephine Sulik. Molly Hoover. Sydney Kelly. Isaac Howard. Brock Jones. Graham Hope. Justin Sheehan. Trey Laughlin. Carson Smith. Skylar Tuning. Peyton Lowry. Kaylee Brown. Mara Victoria Hernandez Lopez. Rita Mitchell. Hayden Deans. Ashley Distler. Karen Murray. Sophia Mantilla.
Congratulations, everyone.
Logan Elizabeth Peacock. Emery Connor. Catherine Briggs.
Pass it on down to the next student. What you done?
Riel Hurt. Hannah Alwyn Lins Lopez. Phillips. Cy Ashton Theron. Tanisha Brewster. Gabrielle Holberg. Lily Hildebrand Rowe.
Pass it on to the next guy, and I'm going to wipe this down.
Emma Timberg. Andrew Craig Beal. William Vanderberg. Luke Brookman. Michael Darren Hayes. Riley Dax Frankel.
Yep, right.
Ethan Carr. Kyler Mahoney. Gabriel Menchaca. Will Jared Hicks. Caden Michael Hinchy. Parker David Seeley. Finnegan Schmidt. Luke Sutton Meadows. Riley Madison Hastings. Jennifer Piercy. Josie Virginia Davis.
Keep on passing it down to the next season, everyone. Thank you so much.
Tiffany McCoon. Mary Alexis Tackett. Ashley Jordan Hare. Alora Burchett.
Oh, sorry.
Caroline Fuller Light. Ava Grace Jackson. Abigail Devlin. Abigail Monk. Abigail Zimp. William Zimp. Zoe Elizabeth Horn. Sophia Shore. Satin Taylor. Vidal Newton. Aisha Marilyn Abaduri Knotts. Cornelia Beatty. Peyton Saunders. Tyler Matthews. Natalie Towin Nguyen. Lily Elizabeth Dobler. Kaylee Bennett. Naomi Victoria Draper. Lauren Stephanie Beckner. Mackenzie Scannell. Bailey Pugh. Macy Hooper. Rachel Seth. Samantha Hammond. Mary Logan Hill. Kaya Rucker. Andrew McCormick. Hannah Catherine Ness. Kennedy Johnson. Abigail Lynn Kendrick. Carly Harris. Camden Bennett. Emmanuel Kennedy. Shane Dobbins. Tholekeo Thumb. Katie Willis. Ruby Crystal Bondurant. Grace Catherine Foster. Ashlyn Grace Winfield. Taya Samuels. Lisa Villinger. Tristan Newcomb. Mina Star Sutphin. Owen Howery. Ahmad Malik Woodson. Tyler Caton. Caitlin Moore. Abigail Emily Walker. Riley Beck. Evan Matthew Tingwall. Joseph Esmil. Alan Mitchell Van Ush. Caitlin Benton. Alyssa Kusharik. Lucas DeLois Reyes. Hayden Alexander Evans. Bailey Dills. Charlie Renee Bishop.
Congratulations, everyone.
DeMont Maiden. Jonathan Perez.
John!
Moaz Mohammed. Samuel Cook. Alexander Rentoul. Ian Dorego. Sydney Taylor. Elizabeth Duncombe. Lily Sue Dobbs. Brooke Ellen Fry. Jorge Pederico Zapata Lozano. Jaime Oliva Robidello. James Minnis.
Sign within the tape and then hand it to the next person.
Joshua Lucas Ward. Colton Pillow. Mallory Lamb. Shay Scoons. Olivia Lynn Muir. Megan Althea Stifler. Evan Alexander Gates. Nicholas Valentine Brent. Riley Turner. Catherine Bebbins. Hannah K. Herr. Alyssa Nicole Campbell. Madison Olson. Sejal Denish Wellington. Catherine Marie Shepard.
As long as you write within the tape,
Zoe Villarreal.
and then hand it to the next student, we get to go. Congratulations, everyone.
Devin Elizabeth Roundtree. Madeline Lee Royce. Matthew Capasitas. Thomas Viscuso. Reed Routes. Christopher Wiley. Patrick Napier. Audie James Shaver. Margot J. Fox. Benjamin Velasquez. Salon Morris Camacho. Andrea Wynn. Sydney Bella Carter. Eric Rosine. Logan Canton. Garrett Christner. Naomi Watkins. Peyton Ruggieri. Madison Walker. Lorraine Louise Upton. Hannah Noel Young. Amber Crouch.
It was looking pretty good.
Reagan Dietrich. Danielle Kuhn. Aurora Giovanna Balasmo. Sydney Rowe. Catherine Cecil. Samari Garavi Nuri. Sarah Alexandra Prince. Maya Taylor. Madison Crow.
As long as you guys sign above or below the tape and then just hand it down to the next video, you'll be
Dinah Lackey. Destin Stringer. Christopher Caparasso. Colin Brock Clare. Nathaniel Lawrence. Caleb Douglas Jameel Osborne. Aiden Grease. Herman Lockern Mathis III. John Murata. Caleb Charles Jenkins. Brandon Murphy. Jameson Mantooth. Jason Bradley Hunt. Luke Demos. Tanner Baker. Armando Nahira. Justin Park. Mercer Alden. Alexander Jordan. Peter Morales. Draven Fernandez. Sydney Alexis Sint. Delaney Salisbury. Jalen Jones. Kevin Nestor. Michael Ham. James Cole Weber.
One more round of applause for our graduates of 2026. As we conclude our commencement ceremonies, I'd like to acknowledge some very special individuals in our audience today. We are a military-friendly university, and on behalf of all of our Hornet family, I want to salute those of you who have and are serving our country. We are so very proud of you. With the graduating students and anyone in the audience today who are veterans, active duty, Guard and Reserve members, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service. I want to take a moment to acknowledge all the others who supported you along your journey as well. To the faculty and staff, parents, families, and friends of our graduates, thank you for the encouragement you gave and the sacrifices you made so that your students have stood behind you, supporting you and celebrating every step of your journey. Now they are cheering you on as you cross that finish line. They're alone, especially when you're a Hornet. So, would the spouses, partners, and children of our graduates please stand? Would the parents and guardians of our graduates please stand? Would the grandparents and other family members please stand? Would the friends of the graduates please stand? And would the faculty and staff and community members who are here with us today please stand? Now, graduates, please rise, and as loud as you can, please thank those who have supported your success during your time at the University of Lynchburg. Thank you. You may be seated. This is the exercise part of the ceremony. A ceremony like this does not just happen. Please join me in thanking the army of people, too numerous to call out by name, for the hard work and tireless planning that went into making this a great day for us all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please join me in applause. So again, my heartfelt congratulations to the graduates. Now go forth and make this undeniably life-changing difference in your community, your state, this nation, and the world. Congratulations, and as always, it is a fabulous day to be a Hornet. Congratulations.
We're going to invite you to join us in the singing of the Lynchburg hymn, Just Fake It If You Don't Know It. The lyrics can be found inside your program. Nailed it, friends. One final announcement. We do ask before you exit that you let the platform party recess down the center aisle, and then students, you can file through with us. And now that we're all soaked and a little cold, sisters, brothers, and non-binary kin, please receive this final benediction. And now may the source of all, the divine breath maker, stir within you a hunger for exploration, a passion for your purpose, fearlessness in the face of risk, and a path that always leads to belonging. May this presence surround you, before and behind, beside and beneath, above and below, to be a steadfast ground in the ever-shifting world and a whisper in the dark, reminding you that you are never alone. May you be filled with a hope that endures, a love that roots you deeply, and a compassion that compels you to create communities of care in our world. May you find the strength to stand tall, to square your shoulders, to live without reservation, to do hard things, to be a channel of peace, to be a driver of change in a chaotic world, and pursuing justice, dismantling systems that thrive on harm, shattering barriers of oppression until they are dust. May you fiercely strive with every fiber of your being for the liberation, for the freedom, for the dignity, and the collective empowerment of all people, so this world, so in need of peace and love, might be one step closer to wholeness because you existed in it. May it be so. Amen and amen. Congratulations, class of 2026. Hell yeah!